Disabilities Issues and Updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living, Abilities in Motion.
Disabilities, Issues, and Updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living.
Hello and welcome to Disabilities, Issues, and Updates. I am Teresa Faulkner, Consumer and Community Outreach Coordinator at Abilities in Motion. We are located at 210 North 5th Street, Reading, PA. Our phone number is 610-376-0010. We want to let our viewers know if you'd like to call in and ask questions, you can call in at 610-378-0426. Today's guest is Mrs. Beverly Purifoy, and our topic is the days and life of living with a different ability. Mrs. Purifoy, welcome to our show. It's so good to have you on here tonight. Looking beautiful for the holidays.
Thank you.
We want to get right into some of our questions and concerns. And so if it's okay, can I call you Beverly?
Yes, you may.
All righty.
Thank you.
We're going to get started. I understand, based on our conversation, that you have a unique spin on the word disabilities. Can you share that with our viewers tonight?
I'd be happy to do that. When you look at disabilities, it often is expressed as a limitation. And while we have some things that we can't do the same as others, I don't say that we don't have abilities. We just have to do it a different way. So we have ability, but it's just different from what we're accustomed to.
Can you give me an example of that?
Yes, it's just like a person who rides a bicycle. Normally you see a person riding a bicycle and it's two wheels. Well, you take a person like me and I want to be able to ride a bike as well. So all I have to look at an adaptive bike. So my bike might be 3 wheels instead of 2 wheels, but I still have the ability to ride a bike. It just has to be adapted for my ability.
I was very impressed. I really liked our topic when it says living with a different ability. I applaud you on that introduction. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
How long have you been dealing with a disability, different ability?
Okay. Well, I was born with an illness that affected me, but I was really blessed in that it didn't affect me till I got much older, in life. So I pretty much had, a really great, way of getting around until I got, in my later years. And it's now the symptoms are starting to affect me a little bit more.
Thank you. What services do you rely on the most with your disability, different ability?
Okay, I'd be happy to express that to you. I do use the barter transportation services. I also use personal care services. I also am privileged to be a part of the I'm Able Foundation, which is run by the CEO, Chris Kaag, who also is the owner and CEO of Core Fitness in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania.
You've talked a little bit about what services you rely on the most, but what issues are important to you, Beverly?
The issues that are important to me are being able to learn how to be an advocate for yourself so that you're not lost. Mm-hmm. Being able to find out what services are available to you with this different ability so you don't feel like you're trapped. Mm-hmm. Like you have the ability to do a lot of things that other people do as well.
One of the things we talked about earlier is you talked about that you use the barter services.
Yes.
What if a person with a disability was having issues? What would you tell that person to do to advocate for themselves?
As far as the barter transportation services?
Mm-hmm. Or any issues that a person with a disability might have. what would be your instruction, or how would you encourage them to advocate for themselves?
Okay. Well, you can certainly, there are a lot of offices and organizations out there that can help you. I know one that has been most advantageous to me has been Abilities in Motion.
Okay.
They got wonderful staff there that, can circumvent a lot of things that you would normally not be able to circumvent on your own. You have the Office of Aging, you have the Department of Public Welfare, the Office of Long-Term Living. So there are a number of avenues, but mainly, you have to try to find out avenues where you can advocate for yourself, get yourself educated for as much as you can.
Very good. And I do want to put out there to our viewers, Abilities in Motion is also in information and resources. So say, for instance, you're dealing with a circumstance or a situation and you don't know where to go or who to talk to, call us and we would be able to direct you to those places that would be able to assist you with those situations. So we want to put that out there to our viewers. If you are indeed dealing with something and you don't know what to do, call us and we'd be more than happy to help you.
Yes.
Let's get back to Beverly. What type of ongoing wellness programs do you participate in to aid you in maintaining a healthy and active lifestyle?
Okay.
I think you talked a little bit about, but can you go in more?
Sure. I'd be happy to do that as well. I do like to, my main thing is participating in the gym program, as I stated earlier, through the I'm Able Foundation, which allows us to go to a place and exercise so that we're continuing to stay active. Mm-hmm. Another organization, I go to a wellness program through the Reading Hospital, the Reading Rehabilitation Hospital, where we can participate in water program. You can do one-on-one, or you can participate as a group. It depends on, your ability and what you can do.
Very good. And just like you, Beverly, there are things that we talked about, ability, disability, or our ability to do things differently. Yes. Just like myself, sometimes I'm not able to go and do certain things, like as far as exercise. So water therapy is a good,
yes, it is.
Water exercise is really a good way to actually keep yourself moving and active. So we just wanted to put that plug in, that if you are looking into that, call water aerobics. Water therapy is a really good exercise program to keep you motivated.
Yes.
Let me just ask you another question. When you recognize those adjustments, did you find avenues that were of support of you? When you looked at some things that you needed to adjust, were there am I asking that correctly, or
can you redefine it just
sure,
a little
it says,
bit for me?
when you recognized that you needed adjustment, did you find avenues that were support to you? Like when you realized you needed to adjust some things, did you find different avenues? Like, say, for instance, I think you said where Chris is.
The I'm Able Foundation.
Were there adjustments there for you if you were not able to do certain things? Were they able to support that adjustment for you?
They are able to support the adjustment in that they make available adaptive equipment, learning how to do exercises that fit your particular ability. And that's not just at the gym, that's also at the rehabilitation center as well in Wyomissing through the Reading Hospital. There's also Albright College that offers water program, there as well. That's mainly like a group type setting, but all those things, they make it conducive to your needs.
Now, are they able to meet your need with your disability, different ability at Albright College? Were you able to be in those classes there, or is that just targeted for a different group? I know that was a senior group, but do they help you as far as persons with disabilities?
They do. Now, that you won't get the one-on-one like you would, in the rehabilitation setting, because those persons, of course, are trained,
Okay.
to handle, different abilities. Whereas if you look at Albright's water program, it's more or less, if you're able to get in and out of the water yourself.
Okay.
Whereas when you're at the Rehabilitation Wellness Center, you're in the water, and if you need more one-on-one, then you have a physical therapist that is there with you to aid you with getting in and out of the water. With the Core Fitness or through the I'm Able Foundation, they have people specifically trained to handle people with different abilities.
Thank you. And we want to be specific. We want to let our viewers know that if you're interested and you do have a disability, or as Beverly said, a different ability, call those places. Let them know your situation, your circumstances, so they would be able to advise you specifically on what they can and cannot do for you. Beverly and I are talking from our own experience, but each person has a different experience. So you need to call and let them specialize the program for you if they're able to do
Yes.
that.
And if you allow me to
Yes.
just interject, before you do anything, it's always recommended that you talk to your physician.
Yes.
To make sure that you have the freedom to do those kinds of things, so that you're not putting yourself in jeopardy, nor the organization that's working with you.
Thank you for those words of wisdom,
Sure, no
Beverly.
problem.
We've talked about so many up things, but I'm sure that there are times and situations and circumstances in your life that have been frustrated, or has frustrated you. What has been some of the things that have frustrated you, Beverly?
I think mainly for me, it's like when you want to do something so badly and you're so excited about it, and you're at a place where it's raining, and someone with a different ability than me can jump out and get in the car and drive and do what they need to do. Well, someone like me, I have to rethink everything, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's raining. That means I've got to go to plan B. Doesn't mean that I always get to go to the activity. It means that I have to have a different mindset. Because if I didn't, I would oftentimes be frustrated even more. So I think as a person with a different ability, you always have to have a plan B.
Always.
And plan B will always go into effect when plan A, a rainy day, a snowy day, an icy day. When those kind of things come into effect, you don't have to be blue about it. You just go to plan B.
Good. And I'm sure even with plan B, there are some days that you are disappointed.
Yes.
Just like anybody else.
Yes.
How has your disability affected your family?
Well, a lot of times with not just family or community, they don't always understand. And I don't mean that as a detriment. It's just that you're trying to do something, but you have to remember, as a person with a different ability, every decision that you make is going to affect someone else. And so it's just trying to find that balance, of what to really do. So when you have a great, and I do have a great family and community support, and I believe that is what sustains me a lot of times. Just being able to touch base, to know that they have a pulse on where I am, and are able to meet those needs, some, more so than others, but to know that you've got it. Know that you've got it.
Do you feel your family's values concerning you had a positive influence on how to handle your different ability?
I certainly do, and if you don't mind, I'd love to give you the story. I have a most magnificent mother. When I was a little girl, they were oftentimes telling her, this child is going to have limitations, she's not going to be able to do this, she's not going to be able to do that. But my mother was so amazing. She never looked at me as a different child or a person with different abilities or anything like that. She just put me out there and said she's got to do the same thing that everybody else does. And I think that was one of the greatest things, one of the greatest gifts that my mother ever gave me, because she never let me feel like I was different. And So it forced me and to be more engaging. It forced me to get out there and say, I can do this. I might just have to do it a different way. Another example is I was often, the other kids got bikes for Christmas, and I never had the opportunity of getting a bike because everybody said, you're not going to ride a bike, you're going to fall off the bike and all this kind of stuff. And I remember being on a parking lot and this bike was just sitting there all by itself. And I had determined that day, no matter what, I was going to get on that bike and I was going to ride it. Now, when I came home, I had holes all in my pants. But I rode the bike for as long as I could until I had to move to adaptive equipment. But I think I had a fierce determination, and that was because of a mother who didn't look at me as, this child who couldn't do anything, but she looked at me as a child who she can do it, she just might have to do it a different way. And not only did I have that, I had a brother and sisters who did that the same, who inspired me, and they oftentimes would tell me that you inspire us. So I think any person with different abilities or disabilities, if you've got a strong support system, there is nothing that will limit you.
With the holidays here, how are you handling the demands that come with it?
Okay, how do we handle the holiday wish list and demands of that? One of the most advantageous opportunities that I've used over the years for holiday shopping is the Boscov's Shoppers Day for people with disabilities / different abilities. Mm-hmm. And they open up the store and they have the staff there that come and they help you to get your gifts, and then they also bring a gift wrapping table up to the second level so that you can come up and shop, and it's convenient. They have Christmas music and the holiday spirit is all in the store, and for me oftentimes that's my Christmas.
Wonderful.
And then we stop and whoever's with me have lunch after our day of shopping, and then we have to cart all my stuff home.
Wonderful. As a person with a disability, different ability, what is on your holiday wish list?
My holiday wish list is just to be happy, to be loving, and to be kind. And to tell you the truth, Terry, it doesn't just take a holiday. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't take a holiday for you to be able to have a spirit of giving, a spirit of inspiration. It's every day. Mm-hmm. It's just that this is set aside to just have it more magnified for one day. But I believe that if you take that spirit of giving, of loving, and being kind with you every day is Christmas.
Wonderful, wonderful. As Beverly and I were talking, she expressed to me one of the things that she loves. She is a lover of music. She is a lover of Christmas music. And so it was one of her desires that to our viewing audience that we be able to, her and I together, be able to wish you all a very special Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And so because she likes to sing, we're going to attempt to do this. Are you ready?
We're ready.
On your march, get set, go.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Boy, Beverly, that was really special. I'm sure our viewers enjoyed that. What impact can a person with a disability, different ability, make in the community?
Okay, you can make an impact by just being yourself. Don't try to be something that you're not. Work with in the realms of your ability, and sometimes you even have to push the button a little bit further. Go past your comfort zone. Don't let I can't be a part of your vocabulary. Embrace every day. Be grateful for it. Work in your community for as much as you can. Volunteer. Be a part. But one of the main things that I would recommend is learn how to be an advocate for yourself.
Very good. And lastly, our question was, what advice would you give someone who is now dealing with their new normal due to a disability, different ability?
Okay, that is a very important question, and thank you for asking that. You have to just take one day at a time. You're going to have good days, you're going to have up days, you're going to have some down days. But getting used to your new normal, it takes time. But recognize that it's your new normal. And don't let it overwhelm you. Just embrace it. Embrace it and do whatever you can to make a difference for someone else.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Beverly, it has been a wonderful experience just being able to have you on our show and to discuss with you some of the different things that persons with disabilities now / different ability. We so appreciate you giving of yourself, and we look to see you in the community in 2017. Any idea where we're going to see you at?
Well, one of the events that I had the pleasure of enjoying this year was the first annual Festival of Trees at the DoubleTree, which was an amazing evening. You could go in prior to the event and vote on the trees. It was a wonderful experience just seeing all the businesses and the creativity that they used to decorate the trees and then auction them off. And this, I believe this was sponsored by the Berks Visiting Nurses Association, along with the DoubleTree, and which is an amazing place to be. But that was really great. Just being a part of
wonderful, wonderful. How was accessibility there? Was it good?
Accessibility was amazing. They have a ramp. You could get in, you could get out, and even the IMAX downtown. You can go and see things there. So all the holiday movies, you'll be able to get in and get out.
Wonderful. From all of us at AIM, we want to wish our viewers and all our audience a very, very Merry Christmas. And we wish you a very prosperous and Happy New Year. Again, if you have questions and concerns, you can reach us at 210 North 5th Street, Reading, PA. Our phone number is 610-376-0010.
Disabilities, issues, and updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living.